In the latest Clash of Clans update, we received 3 new defenses. So that of course means that you are in need of new bases with those new defenses. And that's exactly what I'll be giving you in this video. With that, hello and welcome to yet another video. My name is Gum and let's first take a look at this base from Daniel RJ with the hook tower. And you can already see around the hook tower is relatively much damage with this archer queen, with the multi-archer towers. Once those troops get pulled into the hook tower, they just get decimated. But first of all, if you don't want to miss any more free base videos, then make sure to subscribe to our channel to not miss any more upcoming content. And also, if you're planning on buying any in-game items, using code RHBB would of course help us out a ton, because all supporters from the creator code make it possible for us to give away these bases for free. But of course, you guys want to know how is this base going to defend, so let's dive right into it and take a look at how this attacker is approaching with Root Riders. Root Riders, of course, incredibly hard to defend, but with the hook tower, it is actually so incredibly easy if you use the hook tower correctly, because the hook tower can just pull those Root Riders in over and over again, and each of those Root Riders just get decimated in no time. The World Champion now comes in from the 8 o'clock corner, and you can already see that this World Champion is not going to get any of those fire spitters off the scatter shot. She is either going to walk to the right hand side, so to the bottom side, or she's going to walk to the 9 o'clock corner, which is the case in this time. But invisibility spells just have to get dropped over and over because the RC is just not pathing how he intends it to be. So he basically just got 3 defenses or 4 defenses with his World Champion charge, and now already has to recall it before she goes down. Multi-Inferno Tower does go down, but does it make a difference? Probably not. In a clan castle, you can already see that there is 1 furnace in combination with 2 ice golems, 1 headhunter and 1 archer. So that's the exact clan castle that you also want to use with this base. And this base is so incredibly good against Root Riders. Daniel RJ sent me multiple replays from defenses, and it's just Root Riders all over. So many defenses against Root Riders with multiple 1-stars. With this attack actually being one of them, because you can already see that the Queen as well as the Barbarian King are not walking like he wants it to. And those Yetis are also not going into the core of the base. Now of course the Barbarian King gets pulled in by the hook tower. Now the Archer Queen gets pulled in as well, so the Archer Queen goes down as well. Now Root Riders coming from the top side. The World Champion barely survives, but still there's such a long way to go to the Townhall. And of course we still have this outer defense ring, which is just going to pull all of this Root Riders around the Townhall as well as the World Champion. Now of course World Champion ability comes in. He still has the Grand Warden's Eternal Tome, which he isn't using. If he had used it for the World Champion to support the World Champion would of course gotten a Townhall, but it isn't the case in this time, because there is just so much damage and he was too slow on the erection. And of course he still has 1 overgrowth spell. That overgrowth spell is going to do absolutely nothing, and the monolith is just picking off those Root Riders one by one. Now Warden also goes down, and with that we have the wonderful 1-star defense, which is going to push our Legends League defense through the roof. So if you're currently pushing a Legends League and you want to use the hook tower, this is surely a base I can recommend you using. Link of course is in the description. But of course we have 2 more defenses to take a look at. We of course still have the Fire Spinner, and we also still have the Crusher Mortar, which we'll take a look at right now. And for our second base, we of course now have the base with the Fire Spinner. You can see the Fire Spinner relatively on the outside, but that's exactly where you want the Fire Spinner to be, because you can already see that the Fire Spinner is just constantly shooting shots. So you want to be relatively on the outside, just so it can really irritate your funnel or just your entry in general. And you can also see that he has the Barbarian King in front of it and the Hero Hall in front of it, because you always just want to stall those troops in front of the Fire Spinner, so the Fire Spinner can do so much damage. You really need those troops to stall there. But you can already see that the Fire Spinner is of course not the only good thing about this base. Ueta now wanted to get the Townhall with his World Champion charge, but of course Vibes is a great base builder and he exactly foresee how the World Champion needs to path, and the World Champion goes absolutely not where Ueta wants it to be. So with that, Townhall is still left standing and he did not get the value he wanted to. Once again, we have the same clan castle with 2 ice golems, 1 furnace, and this time not 1 high tunnel in there, but just 7 archers. And now those dragons come in directly into the fire spinner. Of course, now the fire spinner is not tanked by a ton of troops. So of course you're not going through the Barbarian King, you're not going through the Hero Hall. So actually the fire spinner doesn't do too much damage, unfortunately. But still, if you were to go in directly into the multi-inferno tower compartment, or well into the multi-inferno tower setup, it would of course mean that you would take so much damage from that fire spinner. Now of course, Barbarian King as well as Barracks come from the top side in combination with a ton of those furnaces, and those will actually manage to get the Townhall in a little bit with the Barbarian King ability. But of course you can already see that those troops on the bottom side, they are already thinning out a bit. Because of course we still have that scatter shot right here, we of course still have that air defense right here, and those are both doing a lot of work. Those furnaces out of the siege barracks actually managed to get the Townhall, or well, chip off the Townhall, which is just absolutely incredible. Props to the attacker right there. If we didn't have those furnaces in there, of course this would have been a 1-star and a great defense, but still, it is way too much here in the backhand for the Minion Prince as well as the Grand Warden to get down. So with that, this is of course a defense. It is an incredible close defense. It is a time fall in the end, but still, it is the defense that brought Supersonic into this match and also helped him win this match. Still quite sure that this base is going to get insane defensive scores for you, because of course, not every player you're facing is as good as Ueda. So if you're just doing normal Clan Wars, or for example Legends League, or for example Clan War League as well, I'm quite sure this base is going to do wonders for you if you like the fire spinner. Of course, we still have one more defense to cover, and that is of course the Crusher Mortar. And for the Crusher Mortar, I have this base for you guys from Camille. I unfortunately don't have any defensive replays. You can already see that this base is just incredibly trapped against Root Fighters. Because Root Fighters would of course, you would either go in with the Root Fighters from the bottom side, or you would go in with a World Champion charge from the right hand side or from the left hand side, and then with a hero dive into the monolith compartment. And you can already see that there are so many traps placed against that, as well as 2 skeleton traps, so many giant bombs, as well as of course the tornado trap. So if your heroes go in there, they don't have a great time. And also if you of course go in from the top side, so you would do a Royal Champion charge from either the right side or the left side, and then go in with your Root Fighters from the top side, you still have so many traps to go through on the bottom side. So Royal Champion really doesn't have a great time. And also, if you were to attack with a long Royal Champion charge to finish off with dragons, it is incredibly hard to get your Royal Champion into the core of the base. So you of course want to get those fire sweepers, as well as those multi-inferno towers, as well as of course the Crusher Mortar. Even though the Crusher Mortar does not target area, you of course still need to get it down, because it will, well, screw up your pathing a little bit. So of course, getting that Royal Champion into the core of the base will be a tough task, because you just have this outside defense ring that is always going to lure your Royal Champion around the base. And also if you were to start on like 4 o'clock on the hidden Tesla, or here at 8 o'clock on the hidden Tesla, it is already incredibly hard getting to the spell tower, as well as the scatter shot, as well as the fire spitter. So just incredible annoying pathing for Royal Champion charges. So if you're struggling with Royal Champion charges, this is surely a base you can try out in either Legends League or in Clan Wars. And of course also if you have the Crusher Mortar leveled, you can surely use this base. I can only recommend it. Base link is of course in the description. If you don't want to miss any more free base content, then make sure to subscribe to our channel, and maybe one day we will actually be able to hit the 20k subscribers. With that, I would say see you guys soon with the next video. Until then, see ya and bye bye.